I'm Tori. I investigate the newest, hottest subcultures. This is me, alternatively. Melbourne, it was cool like 5 years ago before anyone knew it existed. But then people started coming here. Gross. But now that Melbourne's overrun with African gangs, it's cool again. They're huge right now, and I need to know why. I'm going to become an African gang member. Step 1, find out what a African gangs is. What is African gangs?
I don't know. What are you talking about?
So, what is your favourite African gang?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Well, mine is Timon and Pumbaa. Why do you think people are more scared of African gangs than they are of, like, British gangs? Like, hello, governor, want to join my gang? It's not as cool, is it? Where can I find African gangs?
I don't know.
That was truly unhelpful. So I did some private study. I watched every season of The Sopranos and Gangs of New York starring Leonardo DiCaprio and The Lion King. Again, it's really good, okay? Now I'm ready for my next step. Step 2, talk to someone who's been on the inside. So like, who even are you? Like, what is your deal? Like, what is this?
I'm Benjamin Miller. I'm a print journalist covering Melbourne's West.
So you write for newspapers?
I do.
That is so vintage.
Thanks, I guess.
What is an African gang?
If you ask Victoria Police, there's no such thing. If you ask sections of the media or certain politicians, it's the single greatest threat currently facing Victoria.
What was it like growing up in the crime capital of the world, Melbourne?
Okay, so it's not the crime capital of the world. It's actually one of the 5 or so safest cities in the world.
But you infiltrated ganglands, right?
I've been reporting about African issues because this is the western suburbs of Melbourne. There's an African community here.
You write that the media is ganging up on African gangs. Is the media a gang?
No comment.
Step 3, come face to face with the boss. So, Macaire, you describe yourself as a lawyer and an advocate. How long have you been a lawyer and an advocate?
Well, I've practiced law now for quite some time. So
being a lawyer sounds like a great cover.
Well,
what attracted you to a life of organised crime?
I'm not in organised crime. I'm a lawyer.
A lawyer?
Well, you don't have to believe me. That's a fact.
Fact.
Stop doing it.
What is African gangs like from your perspective?
African gang is a manufactured term. It was manufactured by politicians and the media.
So you started the hashtag African gangs and it went viral. What were you trying to achieve?
So there were all these stories that were being reported. African gangs are terrorizing people in Melbourne. Peter Dutton saying people in Melbourne are afraid to go out to restaurants because of African gangs. It was really a time when we said enough was enough, and we wanted to have our voice heard. Basically, taking ownership of that term.
I'm so sorry. I meant in followers. Were you going for 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000?
What's wrong with you?
A lot of things. It's what makes me so edgy.
Clearly.
So I'm going to join an African gang. How do I get in? Is there a secret handshake?
There's no such a thing as an African gang, and I've said this time to time again. There is no such a thing as an African gang. It's non-existent. You've not been paying attention.
That sounds like something someone who didn't want me to join an African gang would say.
Seriously, I'm wasting my time talking to you.
I was starting to think these dangerous gangs the media talks about don't exist. But then I heard about an African youth meetup and now I'm more terrified than ever. Hey, I'm here for the gang.
We're actually not a gang. We're a not-for-profit organisation called the Afro-Australian Student Organisation. Not a gang. Not a gang.
But you can call us ASO for short.
I think my gang name will be Young Tofu. So you guys are in uni. Are you like studying a Bachelor of Gangs?
What? Excuse me?
How do I join your gang?
Have you ever experienced being an African in this country? Like, have you ever been pulled into a room in high school and been told that you're not good enough to study your high school certificate or VCE because of the colour of your skin?
No,
Have you ever been called a monkey in primary school?
no.
Do people like yell at you because they think you can't understand them?
No. It appears I infiltrated a university student group. I can't find any gangs. I'm sorry, I just feel really like discriminated right now. And on reflection, I think Makaya might have been a real lawyer.
What's wrong with you?
Shit.
Next time on Alternatively, Tory infiltrates a cockfighting ring.